from the CBS Bay Area studios, this is KPIX 5 News.
Welcome back. It's just about 6:30. Good morning. I'm Devin Fehely.
And I'm Julie Watts. A 10-foot tsunami triggered by a powerful earthquake has swept away houses in at least 2 cities in Indonesia. It began with a 7.5 magnitude earthquake yesterday, centered on the island of Sulawesi. Rescue teams are scrambling to get survivors. The earthquake and tsunami are linked to at least 384 deaths in just the city of Palu alone. An update now on a plane crash in the South Pacific. A day after saying everyone was safely evacuated, officials now say a man is missing. The flight crashed into a lagoon on Thursday, just short of a runway on an island in Micronesia. The airline, based in Papua New Guinea, initially said all 47 people on board were alive and accounted for. Now it's saying it's working with local authorities to find a missing male passenger. Well, 7 suspects wanted in a rash of Apple Store grab-and-run robberies are still on the loose this morning, but 10 other suspects appeared in an Oakland courtroom yesterday, all charged with conspiracy to commit grand theft in multiple robberies across the Bay Area. Investigators are trying to figure out if the group is connected to a string of Apple robberies in stores like this one. $1 million worth of products have been swiped off store shelves. Apple's not commenting on the arrest or its security procedures.
San Jose police say data from a Fitbit helped lead them to a 90-year-old murder suspect. Anthony Aiello was arrested Tuesday in connection with the death of his stepdaughter, 67-year-old Karen Navarra. Navarra was found dead in her home on Terra Nova Drive September 13th. A police report reveals that the victim's Fitbit showed when her heart stopped beating. Investigators say a neighbor's surveillance video placed Aiello at the home at the same time. Medical examiners say that Navarro died of blunt force trauma. Police have yet to release a motive.
Well, gun shows will continue at the Cow Palace. Governor Brown rejected a bill that would have banned the events in Daly City. The governor says a decision on a gun show ban should be made by the Cow Palace Board of Directors. Guns and ammunition are sold during events held at the venue 5 times a year. And the governor also rejected a bill authored by State Senator Scott Wiener of San Francisco that would have let bars stay open later. Last call could have come as late as 4 a.m. under the proposal, but the governor vetoed it. He wrote, quote, "I believe we have enough mischief from midnight to 2 without adding 2 more hours of mayhem."
The brand new multi-million-dollar transit center in San Francisco is likely to remain closed at least through the end of next week. The Salesforce Transit Center has been shut down since large cracks were discovered in steel supporting beams just weeks after the facility opened. Structural engineers are scrambling to figure out what went wrong.
The important milestone will be is once the shoring is in place and we've offloaded all that support on that beam, then we can start our analysis of what happened. The design of the shoring system will be finalized within the day, the next 24 hours.
Offsite engineers have designed a new structure that's scheduled to go underneath the deck starting this week. Meanwhile, a stretch of Fremont Street remains closed and bus traffic is being diverted to the old terminal nearby. Supreme Court fight will continue for at least another week. President Trump has now agreed to have the FBI investigate his nominee. He tweeted, "Just started our 7th FBI investigation of Judge Brett Kavanaugh. He will someday be recognized as a truly great justice of the U.S. Supreme Court." CBS reporter Angelica Alvarez on the dramatic 24 hours and what comes next.
President Trump gave the green light to an FBI investigation. This is something Democrats have been asking for all along. It happened when Republican Senator Jeff Flake joined the call.
President Trump ordered an FBI investigation into his Supreme Court nominee, Judge Brett Kavanaugh. The move comes after an unexpected request from the Senate Judiciary Committee.
You're telling all women that they don't matter.
Committee member Jeff Flake of Arizona took heat from protesters after he said he would vote for the nominee, and then from fellow Republicans when he had a change of heart, ultimately demanding the investigation in order to support Kavanaugh.
This country's being ripped apart here.
His friend, Democratic Senator Chris Coons, played a pivotal role in settling Flake's concerns.
At one point, I literally went into a phone booth with Jeff so the two of us could have a conversation without everybody else.
I think we had a good outcome, and I hope that next week we have a process that people can be proud of.
The FBI investigation will focus on the current allegations against Kavanaugh and take no longer than a week to complete.
In a few more days, after a few more delays, we will finally vote to put him there and say enough with the games.
A lawyer for Dr. Christine Blasey Ford said she welcomes the investigation, and Kavanaugh says he will continue to cooperate.
All 51 Republican members of the Senate support the motion to proceed.
Late Friday, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell moved Kavanaugh's nomination past a procedural hurdle, but a vote won't happen until the investigation is complete.
And adding to that statement, Dr. Blasey's attorney says they're happy about the investigation. They're not happy about the 1-week timeline. Reporting on Capitol Hill, I'm Angelica Alvarez for KPIX 5.
KPIX 5 security analyst Jeff Harp, a former FBI agent here in the Bay Area, has experience with special investigations on tight deadlines. He expects a big effort by the agency in the coming days.
To say that a week is really compressed, it is compressed, but you know, the FBI has a lot of resources. They will, at the call of the president, they will put tremendous resources into this to getting to the end of it. Remember, the FBI is not going to make any kind of determination as to the validity of the allegation. They're just pulling the information together. They're the fact finders. They're going to pull all the information together, and it's going to be put into a report, and that'll be given to the adjudicating body.
Now, Harp also says agents may have trouble pinning down the details from the 80s when most communication wasn't stored electronically, but he believes the seasoned investigators can still get a lot of the information that they want. Meanwhile, students in California might not have to worry about the dreaded SAT exam much longer. University of California leaders announced a new study to look into whether SAT and ACT exams actually predict the success in college. Now, some say those who can't afford test prep are at a disadvantage. More than 1,000 universities across the country no longer require the exams.
Google is buying up more real estate for the massive development it has planned for downtown San Jose. The tech giant's latest deal is for Templo La Hermosa Church on Montgomery Street across from the Diridon Transit Station. It's unclear exactly how much Google has agreed to pay for the church site, but according to the San Jose Mercury News, the company has already spent $234 million on various properties near the Diridon Station and the SAP Center.
Well, new California law is changing the menu at state prisons. Inmates will now be allowed to request vegan meals. Governor Brown signed a bill this week requiring vegan options be made available to inmates. Berkeley State Senator Nancy Skinner sponsored that bill. She said inmates who observed a vegan diet often lived on scraps.
We really want people to be able to have the meal option of their religious, ethical, or environmental choice or health choice. And we want to make sure that our facilities honor that.
The vegan meals are required to cost the same as a standard meal, about $3 per inmate per day.
Good morning, everybody. Last regular season baseball series are all underway. And you know what? I'm just going to rip the Band-Aid right off the scab and tell you the A's are not hosting a wild card game. They're playing, but it's not in Oakland as a result of what happened on Friday night. Now, let me show you Bob Melvin. Okay, the A's in Anaheim, already down 3-0. Here came Mike Trout, and there it goes. Back away and gone. Trout's 39th homer for the year. By then, the A's had already seen the final of the Yankees-Red Sox score. So the Angels won this game, final of 8-5. Now, to the aforementioned Yankees. It was simple. Win, host the A's next Wednesday in the AL wildcard game. They picked the Red Sox apart for most of the game. Aaron Judge, one of the 4 home runs that the Yankees smashed last night. They put up 11 runs. They beat the Red Sox 11-6. They're going to host the wild card game. There you have it. As for the National League and the San Francisco 9, say hello to Will Smith, the pitcher, winner of the Willie Mack Inspirational Award at 3rd and King. They hosted the Dodgers last night. Dodgers have something to play for. Justin Turner let them know about it. 5th inning blast here. They beat the Giants. Final of 3-1. That is sports this morning. I will leave you with San Francisco and the logo for the Chargers. Yes, the two are playing a game on KPIX 5 tomorrow. Kickoff at 1:30. Yours truly will be outside of the locker room. with really tall guys. I'll kind of be like this, interviewing players as they come out of the locker room to find out how they won or how they lost. The Raiders, they're at home. They'll be hosting the Cleveland Browns. But that's the game for Channel 5. The 49ers a 10.5-point road dog in L.A., for those who need that information. That's enough. I'll see you later.
Veteran singer Marty Balin, who helped put the Bay Area on the musical map in the 60s, has died. He was co-founder of Jefferson Airplane. His unmistakable vocals could be heard on countless airplanes and Jefferson Starship hits, including Count on Me, Miracles, and Volunteers. A cause of death has not been released, but there were complications after he had heart surgery in Florida in 2016. He was 76.
Well, it was a peculiar traffic situation near Stockton. A truck hauling cattle overturned on Highway 99 yesterday. About 24 cows took off down the highway. Cars were stopped while cops tried to round them up. They were, although eventually contained, and the road did reopen.